Hello everyone, I'm Taylor Bambico. For today's video we'll be looking at the standard Ruger Mark IV. Now before I go any further, I'll ensure this pistol is clear. We're good. Let's continue, shall we? Now when these Mark IVs first came out, I was really excited about them. That was mostly due to how easy it is to take them apart and clean them. I mean really, it's very simple. That's it. And of course, reassembling it is just as easy. Still empty. Let's continue again, shall we? Recently, well for me anyway, by the time you're watching it could be several weeks or even several years down the road, I had the opportunity to take apart a Ruger Mark II. Taking it apart wasn't too bad. Putting it back together, that's a different story. But anyway, when I first saw these, that was about 6 years ago? Yeah, 6 years ago. It wasn't until the occurred you could find any of the Mark IVs out there, through distributors of course. And I don't know why I kept waiting until recently I actually pulled the trigger on one, no pun intended. Well, actually I probably do know why I waited so long. There were other firearms I wanted more than a 22. I've heard the saying, if you don't have a 22, you're doing it wrong. I have the SR22, actually I had that, yeah I got that after these came out, well, that version anyway. So technically I did have a 22. So when I finally took it to the range, on the first magazine, this occurred.
Oh yeah. I wouldn't have known.
It doesn't say it anywhere on there. And it didn't say anything on the advertisement. And I had picked up some steel cakes from Sportsman's Warehouse a while back.
Not even 10 rounds in and I had a malfunction. I just boiled it down to the ammunition because the gun did shoot flawlessly. It was very accurate, definitely more accurate than I am. However, the next time I took it out, as I'm shooting it, unfortunately I didn't have the SD card for the camera I was using, so I couldn't film it. I'm shooting it and then the front sight pops off. It was a simple fix, the screw that holds it in came undone. I put the sight back in, tighten it back down, use a little bit of red Loctite, now it's not going anywhere. But with all I take into account, it's kind of made me not really like this firearm. More than likely I won't have it for much longer. What I'll get instead, maybe a Mark II. Sure, it's a bit more of a pain to take apart and clean, but it's not impossible. And the Mark II that I had the opportunity to clean, I was shooting it beforehand. It had some malfunctions, the same malfunctions that this one did. So again, I just boil that down to the ammunition in this case. And because of the Mark IVs, there is an abundance of its predecessors on the market. So who knows, I might end up with a Mark II one day. Why a Mark II and not a Mark III? Well, the Mark IIIs and the Mark IVs do share one thing in common, and that is the disconnect safety. Magazine disconnects are definitely something I'm not a fan of. Now when shooting this firearm I had 3 different brands of ammunition, Winchester, Federal, and Browning. While the Federal was just lead projectiles, the Browning and Winchester were copper washed. The first time shooting it was with just the lead projectiles. I figured okay, that probably just gummed up quite a bit more. I did clean the firearm before taking it to the range. The second time I took it, unfortunately I didn't have the SD card as I said. The gun still had issues with it. Honestly, it's probably just the ammunition. That's one thing that's a bit aggravating with semi-automatic 22s. They are more prone to jamming. Whether it be in this case, not even 10 rounds in, it could be 50 rounds, it could be a couple hundred rounds in. Lost my train of thought all of a sudden. Don't you hate that? More than likely I will be partying with this firearm. Honestly, I just think it was bad luck with this particular pistol. If I try a different one, maybe it won't have as many malfunctions. Maybe if I try different ammunition. Honestly, I prefer mini mag when I can find it. I haven't seen it in some time. If I can find some of that, and if I still have this at that time, I'll see if that's any different. Don't know. I don't know if I'll get another Mark IV after this one. I'll stick with just the SR22 and 22 revolvers. Really makes me sound like a FUD when I talk about 22 revolvers over semi-autos, that's for sure. Everyone who has a Mark IV, hopefully you've had better luck than I've experienced anyway. At the end of the day, Ruger is who I will go with for 22 pistols, and even rifles for that matter. However, I probably will avoid the Ruger Mark IV Standard. If I did get another Mark IV, it probably won't be the Standard. Of course, watch, I end up getting another Standard one day. I might lean more towards the bull barrel or the 2245. Well, that was my rant on the standard Ruger Mark IV. If you enjoyed it, remember to subscribe if you haven't already. Click that bell icon to notify when I upload new content. Leave any comments you have in the section below and have a good day. See ya!